The footage for Campaign 2, Session 4 was lost. The following is a recap of this session. Melina awoke to find Alec, urging her to go with Eustace to the prison to talk to Burgoyne. Eustace and Melina arrived at the vault and proceeded to play cards with Burgoyne. At one point, Eustace got called away by a guard, and Melina got a chance to ask Burgoyne about the piece of paper with the formula that she stole from the penthouse of Hiram Craddock, the murdered man. All Burgoyne was able to divulge from the formula was that it was a kind of an attempt at an alchemical shortcut, a way to completely convert one thing into another, with practically no other elements or processes. Burgoyne scorned such ideas, calling it wrong on every level. As Eustace and Melina were about to leave, Melina was greeted by Bolston, the orc strongman from the Karnak Carnival, who was also locked up in prison. After talking with him, she found out that he was the orc who found Hiram's body on the street, and that he had been imprisoned because he refused to submit to a zone of truth. He did this because he was afraid that the Peacekeeper would find out about his family's dream lily still. Melina promised him that she'd find a way to clear his name. Later that morning, Marko was roused and taken to see General Thracius Towe, in accordance with his proclamation at the city gate. Towe sent his guards out of the room, and the two exchanged pleasantries. Towe recommended they each place some personal items on the table, and that they take turns asking questions to each other. Marko found out that the moniker, Greatheart, that he'd been using, was the name of a character from a popular children's book. He learned about how devastated the general was after losing so many soldiers in the first wave of the incursion of Montrace. He tried to justify his vile mass cremation by saying that he'd hoped that this would prevent further rebellion. Their conversation was interrupted by his adult daughter, Flower, showing up and telling him he needed to attend to details about an upcoming military parade that he was being honored in. Marko saw the bronze amulet around her neck and felt confident he'd seen it somewhere before. Towe explains to Marko that if he is successful in aiding the Peacekeeper, he would have a path to knighthood. Towe then demanded Marko tell him everything that Sir Hans, the dying soldier Marko got his armor from, had imparted to him before he died. Marko told Towe the truth, that Hans had said something about a princess and a curse and the name of the former queen, Anata. Towe then asked Marko for the armor back so it could be given to the widow, and gave Marko a requisition order for armor from the barracks, and pronounced him a squire. After all the players were together again, they met the Peacekeeper and the Recollector at the cart. Geiger gave the party his sketch of the second mysterious death, in which a dwarf scholar named Dwendon Bliss died in some sort of ritualistic fire. Since a student from the Mage College had recently been attacked with fire by a druid from Stokebalt, the Peacekeeper asks the party to investigate to see if there is a connection. She thinks that perhaps this is some sort of druidic retaliation against the college sending researchers into their woods. Evren, however, knows the truth of it. She was the one responsible, but she tactfully says nothing to the Peacekeeper. As the party travels to Stokebalt, they review Geiger's sketches. There did not appear to be any overt symbol anywhere at the crime scene. After half a day's travel into the green, they arrived at Evren's village, Firdale. The party was greeted warmly by Elder Sindri and Evren's family. Adeline and Ronan, her mother and father, then her siblings, Eden, the twins Ezra and Ensley. However, her younger brother Elias was nowhere to be found. After making introductions, the elder was shown the sketches. He recalled that the alchemical symbol for fire is an upwards-facing triangle, and the body of Dwendon Bliss seemed to have been staged with his hands in the shape of a triangle. His death would seem to have been murder, and the hands of the deceased were posed that way. After a lively meal together, Elder Sindri spoke privately with Burroughs, and noted that there was something odd about his eyes. He tested him by lifting a clover and instructing Burroughs to concentrate on it. He turned it to stone. Sindri asked Burroughs if he had ever had an encounter with a basilisk. Burroughs divulged that he'd seen a dragon. After getting a description, Sindri named the dragon Burrows had seen as Jespin, the demagogue of trickery, who was born of Bahamut and a basilisk according to legend. After rejoining the meal, Elias, shocked after seeing Evren, reported that he tracked a group of mercenaries to the Heart of the Green, the most sacred area in all Stokebalt. Sindri asked the party if they could see what was going on the following morning. Elias and Evren shared a private moment in which Elias told Evren he was frustrated with her for getting arrested. He was upset she did something rash without telling him first. After a brief exchange, the two embraced and parted. The session ended with this epilogue. Burrows. As you lie around a campfire, surrounded by strange forest dwellers, you're struck by the sincerity of those around you. No one puts on airs or plays pretend. Beneath the canopy of low-hanging branches, you see fireflies illuminate the trees with a pulsing rhythm, like a gentle heartbeat.